Let's see, I'm ready, honey.
I know this sounds crazy. I can see the future.
Seeing the future is a...
You are not a failure.
Yeah, we gotta get in here earlier. Are we live? Peace and love, family. Welcome to another episode of Candid Conversation. Not popular.
But important.
I'm King George,
Oh.
a.k.a.
I
Mr.
like
Knowledge is Power.
I like it.
And this is my beautiful, my one and only, my queen.
Natalie Nicole. Natalie Nicole, hello.
Hey, everybody out there. Hope y'all are having a good hump day.
Ooh.
We are almost to the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Listen, every day is the weekend if you want it to be.
Yeah, well, it could be. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what are we getting into today, King George?
I like it. So we got a few things to get into. And if you're tuned in, if you're watching this, please let us know how our volume.
Yes.
Yes, I am the sound guy. I'm still trying to work through these kinks. But if y'all can hear us, put an ear in the chat if you can hear us. But if you need to turn it up, also let us know if we need to turn it up the volume so y'all can hear us better.
Right.
But yeah, happy Wednesday. It's a beautiful day.
It was a beautiful day today.
Oh man, it was lovely. It felt like spring out there today.
Yes, absolutely needed the sunshine. Sunshine is it's a natural healing and wonderful power. So it was great to be in the sunshine today.
Did it heal you? Yeah. Say it has healing powers.
I'm going to keep my comments to myself.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, our minds want to know.
Oh, man. Okay.
But yeah. So let's get into our announcements. Let's jump in and give our announcements and, get into the show. We want to
thank our sponsors. Is that what you're telling me to do?
That's right. We want to thank our sponsors.
Yes.
RMA, Rollout Academy.
All things modeling and personal development. Today, they just launched their first application for model searches here in the Columbus Tri-City area. And so look out in social media and their websites for information regarding that. Ages 5 and up, boys and girls.
Okay. All right, we appreciate that. And we want to thank Tri-City Fatherhood Group also for sponsoring this platform. And if you're having issues with child support, if your license is being suspended, you're tired, you're sick and tired of being tired, your passport is being denied, your wages are being garnished, please reach out to Tri-City Fatherhood Group at tricityfatherhoodgroup.com and get some relief.
Yeah, get some help. Get some help, some quality help.
Right, and we are in the Tri-City area, in the Columbus area, so please don't hesitate to reach out. Without further ado, let me give a quote of the day, which is today sponsored by our brother Malcolm.
Okay.
X, if you don't know. And he has a quote that simply says, "The future belongs to those who prepare for it today."
Yes.
I just want to drop that in your spirit.
Very nice. Yes, it's so awesome.
If you can feel it.
To prepare.
That's right.
Yes. Okay.
Preparation is key.
All right. So on Wednesday nights, it is. On Wednesday nights, again, what we hope to go over are 4 topics.
Okay.
Upcoming events in the community, Tri-City area, as well as city news, educational news, and politics. Those are the 4 areas we hope to cover on Wednesday night. And then on Sunday night, we like to go deep. We like to get into some history.
What we call a deep dive.
Yes. And so we're excited about that. Just, we got to know where we came from in order to know how to move forward in the right direction. So join us on Sundays at, what time did you say? I want to say, was it 6:30? I think it's 6:30. But for sure, we'll
make sure y'all have that information.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, y'all seen how he just gave me the side eye like that?
I didn't.
Did you? Yeah, I saw you, honey.
I just turned that way.
Yes, you're supposed to know. I saw it. I know you well enough to know what that look was for. So I'm tracking. All right, so we're going to start with our upcoming events. Now, if you would like to join our mailing list, direct message us or put it here in our group. That's fine as well. And we will add you to our mail list because what we have done is compiled events that we have seen across social media in one area.
Right.
Okay. There are so many things going on in the community, and it's just like we were at the fashion show on Sunday and people said they didn't know about it.
Right.
Okay, so that's a serious issue, and we are solution-oriented people. So if you even have events that you want us to add to this mail list, let us know. If you want to be added to the mail list, let us know. And we are sending out an email compiled of local events that's going on. And then there's also the Columbus, Black Columbus business page.
Yep.
They post events as well. But we're just trying to bring it all together because like we talk about unity, it's important.
Definitely important. So and I think that that group is, I'm not sure if they're on Instagram. They might be, but I know they're on Facebook. So go check them out.
Okay.
And join that group so you can stay abreast.
Okay.
Of stuff that's happening in the community.
So first upcoming event for this weekend.
First African Baptist Church. Saturday, February 3rd. What is that, 3 p.m.?
Yes, 3 to 4 p.m. At the auditorium at the Macon Road in the Columbus Library. Okay.
Macon Road, it's going to be in the auditorium, right?
Yes, and they're going to be going over a history for the church of almost 200 years.
Right.
Which is wonderful. That is amazing that the church is still standing and in great condition. Next, coming up for February is the New York Fashion Week 2024. We have a Columbus native designer, Black African-American lady on her way to New York to sponsor her designs on Runway 7, February 9th. Okay. Please be sure to look her up on social media and give her some love. Her show will be at 1 p.m. at Sunny Hall. Did I say that right?
You said it right.
Okay.
And if you want to donate, I'm sorry, if you want to donate, feel free to donate. You can reach out to Miss Lakeitha Ash or just mine. I know she's on Facebook and Instagram. So if you want to donate to her cause and to the cause, definitely reach out to her and see how you can get in there and donate.
This is absolutely an amazing opportunity. And, you know, not only did she, you know, consider herself, she's taking some ladies with her. So this is epic.
Right.
You know, for them as well.
And you're one of those ladies.
Oh, well,
and
yes.
One of those models.
Yes, I
you
am.
Let the people know.
Yes, I am.
Well, I was strutting the runway.
Hush, hush about that. But yes, I am. And super excited and blessed to be a part of what she has going on.
Indeed.
All right, our next event, honey.
What we got?
Veterans Affairs
Symposium. Was that February 9th?
Yes.
At 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yes. 4th Street Missionary Baptist Church. Pastor J. Flakes III is the pastor there. So if you're a veteran out there, Veteran Affairs, I'm sure this is going to be an interesting event. So save the date for that. Next up is we have a lot of church stuff going on.
Right.
Yeah, so the 16th of February, if I'm looking at that correctly, is the pastoral anniversary for, let me put my, oh, it's not that kind of party. Can you see it, honey? I know it's honoring Pastor Corey and the First Lady of that church. So, yes, again, join our mail list.
Right.
Send us your email so you can read these because, you know, as you get a little older, the eyesight is just going to the left. And so I can barely see what I have here. The next one, we have a live concert also at the 4th Street Missionary Baptist Church. They're big on the music.
They are.
Big on the music. So a live concert Sunday, February 11th, 2024 at 3 p.m., 4th Street Missionary Baptist Church. Register to vote, okay? We also have that information listed because February 12th is the deadline to vote. Online, in person, or through the mail. The mail has to be postdated February 12th. Okay?
And please don't wait till the last minute. Go
Yes.
ahead and get registered. You know, a lot of stuff can happen and you get confused and forget. So if you're not registered, go ahead and get registered ASAP.
Yes, it's super important that we register to vote and that we vote. That next thing, are you pulling up yours so you can?
Yeah, that way,
Okay.
I can open it up.
Yeah. The next thing is the Valentine's Love and Conversation Date Hard edition. February 13th at 6:30 p.m. Green Island Country Club. Okay. Tickets, you can find those on Eventbrite. We know the Rileys, and so that's how we found out about this event.
Right.
Yeah, so if you're interested in a date night on February 13th, I believe that's through the week, like a Wednesday or Tuesday or something like that.
And you don't have plans already. Valentine's Day plans. Yeah, come out, show them some love. You gotta get your tickets early though because they won't last, I'm sure.
Next is February 17th, 1 to 3:30 p.m. 222 5th Street, Columbus, Georgia. They are having a Black History exposition. Not sure who's hosting it, but it says church parking lot. So again, you can find this information to read for yourself in our email that we're sending out. And so if you'd like to join, please let us get your email. And you can also post any events that you may have going on as well in this group setting under this live.
Now, did we go over the Black History Expo?
Yeah, that's exactly what I just did. So you can do the next one then.
I'll make sure we're on the same page here. Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. We got next 2024 Arbor Day, celebration of trees.
Yep.
If you guys are interested to participate in that, it's going to be at Lake Bottom Park near 18th Avenue and Springer Street.
Okay.
So save the date. It's going to be, let's see, February 17th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So please come out, support the community, make our community better, and contribute in that way.
Can we make a little quick point about unity? Like just in moments and being out there, we were helping with putting the dirt back over the tree parts after they had been placed in.
Right.
And then we were putting they called it mulch. I called it straw.
Right. It was straw.
A straw.
Pine straw.
A pine straw. Oops. around the trees. Okay. One person told us what, honey?
One person told us not to put it too close to the root or the base of the tree.
Because it'll hold water or something like that.
Right.
The next person told us to spread it out a little bit. And I just wanted to bring that up, how important it is that we're all on the same sheet of music. Like, we're out there for one common goal.
Right.
To be successful in planting these trees. But just within that small little task, and it's very minute and very, what have you, but it makes a big deal when one person's telling you to do one thing, and then literally you're following those directions, and then somebody's like, whoa, let's pull this back some, And so just the point on unity and just, a communication and understanding across the board, which he's been telling me about communication, like,
it's the little things.
A lot here lately.
That's the little things. We just want to make sure, because assumptions will definitely kill your communication. Oh, I thought this, or I thought that.
Yes.
But if you ask a question, you know how they teach you in class.
Yeah.
No question is too, what do they say?
Too dumb.
Yeah, you gotta,
Or stupid. I don't like to use stupid. I like to use less than smart.
Yeah, it's right. Well, yeah, it's just to make things simpler. It's just to clarify things, and like you said, to make sure everybody's on the same sheet of music.
Yeah, and listen, in Sunday school, it was brought to my attention that there's a difference between an educator and a teacher. So I'm still, yes. So
you elaborate?
No. Okay, well, I will though.
Okay.
But a teacher is someone who teaches material. They're going to teach you what you need to know, and that's it. An educator facilitates your social, emotional learning, like they nurture the whole student and give you and teach as well. Okay? So I was going to say, like, as a teacher, and I'm going to say it as a teacher and an educator, it's very important. It's one of the things that you learn is that you don't assume, you can't assume that everybody is on the same sheet of music or everybody understands, everything the same. So you have to have steps in place to break everything down. So communication, like you said, is very, very important.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right, the next one.
Thank you for those nuggets.
Thank you. The next one, you want to go do that one?
So what we got next? Black History Month Observance Breakfast, which is February 19th, 7 a.m.
Yes.
At the Columbus Convention and Trade Center. I think we'll be in the house for that.
We are going to be in the house for that.
So
Pastor Green and Lady Green already have our tickets for that.
All right. And I think the keynote speaker is going to be the Honorable Hakeem Jeffries, which is the minority leader of the U.S. House of Representatives. So if you're able to make it out, again, February 10th, 2024, 7 a.m., Columbus Convention and Trade Center.
That's 19th, honey. February 19th. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Listen,
1-9.
I got on glasses, and I'm still getting it wrong.
February 19th.
The 19th.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Columbus Convention and Trade Center. Right. And I'm sure it's going to be packed. I'm sure to get your tickets soon. Get your tickets soon so that you can be in the place to be empowered and just fellowship, really. It's going to be an opportunity fellowship.
Right. So we're looking forward to y'all, to seeing y'all there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And please come up to us and let us know that you know who we are, so we can network and get to know everybody.
Okay.
So we want to know everybody who's watching and who's in the community.
Yeah.
So
and so I'm glad you brought that up too, because it's a pet peeve for me. Like, okay, when I lived in California, I would wave and say hi, and that's how they knew that I was not from California, because that's not their culture. But in the South, that's supposed to be our culture. And here in this day and age, I feel like people will walk by you and they don't speak. Like, if I don't know you, I'm not speaking. And I'm offended. Like, that's not how we grew up, right? It was like, hey, no. Maybe I'm from Florida. So,
I think it's certain. So, like you said, generally speaking, the South is known for Southern hospitality.
Yeah.
But it's just not as.
It's going down the drain.
Perhaps.
Maybe it's a Georgia thing, because I'm from Florida and we speak in Florida.
No, it's certain parts that you go to I think the smaller the town, the more, hey, how you doing?
Oh, okay. So what you trying to say?
Well, I'm just saying that, the smaller the town, people are more happy and chipper and quick to speak.
But at least, like, if you're passing by somebody, if I'm, like, within distance and I'm looking at you, I can say hi.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
But if they don't speak, I don't think it's,
Well, it's just the thing that when you speak to people and they're, like, I don't know that person, you can see it on their face, and so that part, but it's okay. But it's a pet peeve for me. Like, be friendly, be nice.
Right, and I got to do better too, because I'll sit right next to somebody and be like,
yeah, and then when I'm saying hello, he's like, do you know that person? I'm like, no, but
only because nowadays you speak to people and they're offended when you speak. You know what I mean? You speak to somebody, and they look at you like you disrespected them.
Yeah, but
okay. So sometimes I just have to keep it moving. No disrespect. I'm just like,
Yes. Well, yes. So yeah, I will smile and say hello, beautiful, just like I know you. And so, yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna do better though.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, and the next thing is Shaw High School is having their 2nd annual food truck festival. And so your business or a food truck can be a part of the event, but I don't think you can sell things, but I think you can provide information. So it depends. Like, so if you have a food truck, maybe you can sell items, but if it's like a business, maybe you can provide information and probably take information in order to reach out to potential customers, clients later. So again, this is in our email that we're sending out. And so if you would like more information regarding that, check it out. We're just trying to consolidate and put everything in one place so it's organized and convenient.
And this is part of our, I don't know, should I say community calendar? Yeah, we want to make sure everybody's tracking on and know what's going on in the community, because sometimes they put stuff out there and it doesn't get to everybody. So so we almost missed out on a recent event.
Right, and it was very, very good. Like, oh my goodness, I'm so happy you found it, and I'm so glad that we were able to attend. Yes. So then up next is the 3 candidates that we have running, and that information is in the email as well. So you have Mr. Travis Chambers, you have Dr. Patrick Leonard of Faith Ministries. Let me see, does Mr. Chambers say what he's a part of? I don't see anything there for him, but I believe he's a broker here. He owns a real estate company here in Columbus, Georgia. And then we have Dr. Rocky Marsh. Okay. And so all of these gentlemen have declared their candidacy, whether on television. I think most of them did theirs on television, and then within the news outlets or whatnot. And so vote May 21st, 2024, according to where your heart lands. All right, moving right along, because we're going to touch politics later.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. What we got next? The Soul of My Footprint brunch.
Okay.
Let me pull this a little closer.
Beautiful flyer.
Right, so this is going to be Saturday, March 9th. Brunch begins at 11:30 a.m. And we're going to have a silent auction. And this is at St. Luke Ministry Center, 11th Street, Columbus, Georgia. 301 11th Street. They're saying African attire is suggested. So if you got your kente cloth, if you got this would be something good for you, Lakeitha, if you're watching.
Yes.
Definitely show up with your brand and go ahead and advertise and show everybody what you bring to the table.
Yes, what you offer. Ooh.
And if you need some cloth
for us to get something made.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So if you need if you don't have any African attire, you can go see Miss Lakeitha. She's on South Lumpkin Road, and she will take care of you.
And you definitely want to show up to this event in your attire. The gentleman, he makes trips yearly, annually since I've been here to Africa. I think they've built a clinic there. So doing great things with this organization. So show up and show out in your attire. Right.
The keynote speaker will be Michelle Michener. She's an actress and also a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority.
Yeah.
Tickets are $55. So Again, that event will be March 9th, 2024, 11:30 a.m. at St. Luke Ministry Center.
Mm-hmm. And then the Women's Empowerment Luncheon is coming up, okay? Friday, March 15th. Vending starts at 10 a.m. and then the luncheon starts at 11:30 a.m. And these are always good. Like, we don't know who the speaker is going to be this year, but they always have amazing speakers. Always a great, event. And the tickets go really fast. So you want to make sure you get your tickets so you can be in the place if you would like to.
Right now, is there a men's empowerment luncheon that they do every year?
I did see something today with Mr. Bonton.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if it's a empowerment situation like this, but I did see something about a luncheon today. I'm gonna have to pull those.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about something. Something that's gonna be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here in Columbus.
Let us know in the comments if you're aware if there's an annual men's empowerment luncheon held here in Columbus, Georgia, because I don't know.
Right, and if there's not, I'll be one of the first to start the conversation to make that happen, so we can.
Yeah, so you guys can all gather in a room and chit chat.
Exactly.
And get empowered.
That's right.
Okay. All right.
What we got next?
That next one, I'm gonna let you handle it.
Okay. Next is New African Nation, which is my brother Shakur and the Dr. Henry Clark Council in Columbus, 2503 Dawson Street. Let me see. They're going to be having, so it's New African Day is what it is. And it's March 29th through the 31st, 2024 at the Embassy on 2503 Dawson Street. So if you want to check that out, again, New African Nation, you want to go and check them out, see what they're all about. They got, they're all about the community. They're all about unity. They're all for the people. So if you're interested, you want to get some more information, definitely. You can call 706-668-3403 or 706-571-6936 to get more information. So definitely check that out.
Tickets are available on Eventbrite, and this is a family-oriented event. And what I love is when I checked out the Eventbrite tickets today, it had vegan, it had chicken, it had fish.
Which is awesome.
Right. Very
health conscious.
Yes, and just thoughtful of all different types of people's eating habits or whatnot. So make sure you get your tickets and support this part of our community as well. I love it.
Right.
Let's see. Role Model Academy presents Women's Wardrobe Biz, where they will be giving away clothing for women. And a little bit empowerment. So it's going to be at the Columbus Library, Saturday, March 30th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And if you are an organization that caters to women in any form or fashion, reach out to them so that you can partner with them and provide some free items as well if you'd like to. Okay?
Right.
That's March 30th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Columbus Library. Be giving away some free clothes to some women, business wear. Okay?
Right. So if people want to donate, whether it be shoes, clothes, where can they donate? Like, where is there a location? Maybe in a future date.
They can donate to the organizations that are already in place here in Columbus who take those free clothes and provide those opportunities, to.
Okay.
Yes.
I just want to be clear.
Yes. But I will look up some organizations here who do that on a regular basis because there are, I believe one event we attended, they said they had a closet. So there are a lot of organizations here who offer, consistently a place where women can come and get items they need. So for this event, the clothes are high quality. Yeah, they're not, they're in good condition, great condition. And so it's one of those things of instead of sending it to the Goodwill for someone to have to pay for it, they can just have, the item for themselves. So.
Okay. Now, before we go any further, I want to shout out the Focus Program. It's not on here.
Okay.
But I want to shout out the Focus Program. Daniel, I've been trying to get with you. But if anybody knows Daniel Gay of the Focus Program on South Lumpkin Road, please put his information in the chat so I can get in contact with him. But the Focus Program, they do great things in the community, especially teaching young people how to play chess.
Okay.
Young men how to tie a tie. They give away free shoes. They do stuff in the community. So if anybody knows Daniel Gay or how to get in contact with him, please let us know.
All right.
Now, did we skip this, or is it different on mine?
So that's you probably have the latest and the greatest, honey. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. I like that, the latest and the greatest. So meet the candidates.
Yeah.
This is going to be April 11th through the 18th. Wait, okay, April 11th, April 18th, and April 25th.
Yeah, 3 different dates.
Right, from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. And this is City Council Chambers City Service Center. So this will be, it says meet the candidates. So
it's not specific, so I imagine all the candidates who may be running for any position during this election season.
So definitely check that out, or go, let me see if there's a website. There is no website, but the event is called Meet the Candidates. So if you Google that, I'm sure it should pop up. Yeah. To get more information. Okay.
And then I think the last thing we have is the Legacy of the League. Does that say dinner 2024?
Right.
And that's coming up Friday, April 19th at the Columbus Convention and Trade Center. And so you can get your tickets for that as well on Eventbrite. Now, can I make a scattered remark about Eventbrite?
Well, did you give them the address? I mean, the date and time already?
Yes, honey.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I said Friday, April 19th at the Columbus Convention and Trade Center.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead with your scattered remarks. Go ahead.
So my scattered remark. So, is there a way that we can do better about not using Eventbrite? Because, example, the ticket was $100 times 2, and then plus like $36 in fees. Why?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's like you're giving away extra money.
Well, I think that's the fee to use it, right? I mean,
but we're not using it. You understand what I'm saying? Like whoever's hosting the event is using it, and therefore the fee should be for them. However, the fee is falling on the person who's purchasing the tickets.
Yeah, it's similar to PayPal. When you send money on PayPal, if you send it friends and family, you're responsible for the fees and the taxes.
Okay.
But if you send it, I can't remember what the other option is, but it is similar to that.
But you see what I'm trying to say? For the $36 in fees, I could have purchased a ticket to someone else's event with that. Yeah,
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Eventbrite. I have to look it up and figure out what's what. But if y'all know what the particulars are as far as Eventbrite goes, share that with us in the chat and let us know.
Yeah, I would like to know if we can do better as it regards,
putting events on the event.
Right. Because, it's important that you get what you want for the event. And the Eventbrite is nice. But again, the fees add up to the point where, you're on there purchasing multiple tickets for things, and that $36 could be transferred to another event. So I'm just wondering. Okay.
Glad you got the office, yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, so that's all for our events right now. So again, join our mail list, submit any events that we may have missed. And we will add them to our upcoming events. And then now we're going to transition into city news.
Right, let's get to it. Before we get to it, let's give a shout out to Netta's Southern Flavor. Okay. They're on Whittlesey Boulevard. If y'all don't know, if you've never been to Netta's, it's a beautiful space.
Very, very nice.
I think they do karaoke there. I think they do spoken word,
and I think when we went, they were hosting like a training or a sales meeting or something like that, so they have space for that as well.
Right. So get in contact with them if you have any events coming up, or you just want to go there and get some of that good food they had. Some of that good baked chicken we had, some of that good, some of those big yams they had.
Sweet potatoes,
they got it all.
Cornbread,
all of that good soul
green
food.
Beans.
I'm getting hungry again.
Right, because I think she was like 2 sides. Well, listen, I'll never ever want to listen to that kind of stuff right there, because I'll be like, I want this, and just price it however you're gonna need to price it. But
we ate good.
Yes, very good. The quality was wonderful. Atmosphere was wonderful. Sweet tea was good.
Right. So 2901 Whittlesey Boulevard, Netta's Southern Flavor.
Yes, visit, patronize.
Please.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to
our city news.
Let's get to it. So we went to yesterday the Columbus Empowerment Network. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with them, but they had an event yesterday at the Columbus Macon Road Library, and it was Cure Violence who was, so Cure Violence is a part of this network, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But yeah, and during this discussion, they talked about the gun violence, the crime in Columbus, in particular, certain areas or certain zip codes that are worse than others. Like 31903, where I'm from and where I grew up, is leading the rest of them in crime right now.
Yes, I think 31907 was mentioned.
Right. 3190, what did you say?
Was it 6 or 4?
I think it was 4. But yeah, so we want to talk about gun violence and violence, period, in Columbus. And never would I have thought or imagined in my wildest dreams that we would have a gang problem in Columbus. Really? I'm telling you, it's as a kid, you couldn't have told me 30 years later that we would have a gang issue or a gang problem in Columbus. But
well, let's break down how the gentleman he did an excellent job of explaining how we got there, right?
Shout out to Reggie.
Yes.
With Cure Violence.
Where did he begin? He began with there being a need.
Right.
For basic need. For what? Food?
Food. Your basic needs. Food, water. What is it? Food, shelter.
Right.
So, yeah.
Not being met for young people.
Right.
And so then them turning to do whatever they need to do. Whether that is, do illegal things like sell drugs or steal or rob or whatever, just to survive. Right.
So he talked about poverty. He talked about unemployment, lack of mobility, gun violence, and like you said, the basic necessities that people don't have. So they go out, rob, steal, and whatever else they have to do to get it.
Right, and even those with employment who do not make enough by the time they pay their rent, their insurance, and certain bills, it's gone. Then they don't have enough to live. What is the little logo for Columbus? Play and live and have fun or something like that. It's not offered to them. Let me look it up. It's not offered to those people. And so then they're out here surviving the best way that they know how.
Right. So while you're looking that up, let me give some of the statistics real quick and the demographics of Columbus. So Columbus, there's about 200,000 plus people in Columbus. And then of that 200,000, 94,725 are black or African American. 85,220 are white or Caucasian. So we make up the most. We make up the biggest population or demographic in Columbus, which we always talk about how we have the most power, but it's not being used to put us in a better situation. Okay, then you have 16,099 that make up the Hispanic and Latino community, 12,207 that make up 2 or more races. Okay. And then you have 5,371 that make up Asian, 6,557 that make up other groups. And then you have 2,000 plus gang members.
Wow. And I was amazed to learn that that's a lot.
Right. And he also was saying that these gangs they're not like the gangs when we were growing up, like Bloods. All you had was a Blood, Crips, that were everybody knew there were Bloods or Crips. And then if you lived in Chicago, you know about GDs and you know about Black P Stones and these other gangs that are not recognized or known as popular as the Bloods or Crips.
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely the gang violence and violence period is definitely out of hand in Columbus.
Right.
And I kind of talked to you about how they were going over, if somebody has a cold, you start talking about they have a runny nose, they have a fever, they're coughing. Those are symptoms
Right.
of something that's deeper, which could be cold, could be a flu, could be pneumonia, or something worse, cancer, or whatever the case may be. So when it comes to violence and poverty and all of those things that were named, those are symptoms of a bigger problem, in my opinion.
Right.
Which is what happened during slavery, what happened after slavery. Because if you think about it now, think about this. After slavery ended, our people were in poverty when slavery ended. So what's different between then and now? We're still in poverty. Our people are still in poverty. We never did get land. We never did get the resources we needed to sustain ourselves and put ourselves in a position to succeed.
Right.
So therefore, we have what we have today, which Malcolm X referred to as the hate that hate produced. That's what we have now.
Wow.
The hate that hate produced. So that's why we have what we have, which is this gang violence and people trying to survive. That's what it's about. It's about poverty and survival.
Right.
These people are trying to survive. So if they got to steal to get it, if they got to kill to get it, if they got to sell drugs to get it, if they got to prostitute to get it, they're going to get it. The government's not going to help them.
Right.
Reparations ain't coming.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is. So when people start talking about why is it so bad, and it's not just Columbus, the whole nation is suffering the same thing.
Right. And that was a great point that he made. He said, we're not unique in what we're experiencing here in Columbus.
Right.
It's all over the world in different places.
Right. Right.
The gun violence, the people that are murdered, the homicides, that's what he said. All of that is kind of the same everywhere.
Right. So, to me, you don't look at the puppet master. I mean, you don't look at the puppet. You look at the puppet master. You look at the person or the people who are pulling these strings to cause the situation to be like it is. So, until we realize that it's something greater or somebody greater pulling the strings, we're going to keep looking at the symptoms and talking about the symptoms. But we need to look at the cause. We need to look at the disease. We need to look at what the root problem is, which is the government. And the same government that's here today was the same government that was in place during Jim Crow, during Reconstruction, during the Civil Rights Movement. It's the same government.
Yes.
So they never gave us They never gave us anything to help sustain ourselves. So what was the purpose? Our people were freed from slavery, but then went back and worked for the slave master for a few pennies. Because we weren't given anything to sustain ourselves. So I keep saying that because I want people to get that in their minds and in their heads that that's why we have what we have. The hate that hate produced. These kids are out here trying to survive.
Right.
So we can't point the finger at them.
Right. I will tell you, it is generational, it's systematic. And when I say systematic, as a college student right now, one thing that my professors hate to hear is the critical race theory.
That's a big one.
They hate to hear it. They don't want to hear anything about it. It's like banned, as a term. But what critical race theory, and I think we'll get deeper into this later on another time, it just basically says that there is a subliminal system of racism in institutions, banking, housing, and it's there and it's in place, and it's operating. So it's not as bold as the KKK in a whole white suit,
right? Or
me putting a cross in your yard, but it's there nonetheless.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It's a covert way of oppressing somebody.
Yeah, and I learned that maybe they don't have to tell you to put your race on an application.
Right.
But when they get your address, when they get your zip code, it automatically tells them, where you're coming from and who you are.
Right. Right.
So it's systems in place now.
Definitely. Well, let's talk about mass incarceration.
Yeah.
That's another system. Yeah, and like you said, these systems are in place. And this stuff is not happening by accident. One side of town doesn't look worse than the other by accident. That's not an accident.
Right.
There's no reason why this side of town or that side of town should be worse than the other, but it's like that.
And the first thing they will say is that it's their fault. They need to want better. They need to want better. That's what they'll situate it as. We can't fix it for them. They have to want better for themselves.
Hey, those people are out of touch with reality. Because again, you have to look at the puppet master who's pulling the strings. You don't look at the symptoms. All of this gang violence, poverty, crime, those are symptoms of a bigger picture and a bigger problem.
And also what just came to mind is how the gentleman mentioned that he could sit on the side of town and rake in, what did he say, like 50 to 20 tickets?
Somewhere.
As a police person.
Right.
No registration,
right.
No license, all of these different things.
Right.
And there's clearly a difference. And when he said that, I thought about the school system. At one school, they require you to have registrations and license and all that good stuff to drive. And you got to pay to park. At another, you can just roll up.
No
license.
No credentials.
No anything.
Or nobody's checking. Maybe they tell you, yeah, you're supposed to, but I don't think anybody's checking.
I feel like it's so overwhelming. Like that's not a situation that they want to be concerned with. Because
Well,
it would be another factor that they would be getting suspended for or getting in trouble for, adding on to what is already a problem.
Right. So if you're watching and you're not in Columbus, what is it like on whatever side of town in your city?
Yeah.
That's the worst of the worst. I'm sure it's the same as Columbus. There's poverty. There's crime, high crime. There's fast food restaurants on every corner, liquor store on every corner.
Yep.
Lotto shop on every corner.
Yep.
And then you know what else is crazy? We'll take our money. We'll go spend our money outside the community, which is making our community poorer. Or we'll spend our money in our community and still give it to somebody who doesn't live in our community. They don't look like us, so they take our money, get a bag in our community, and then go back to their community, kick their feet up, smile, and count their money. So again, that's just making our community poorer. And we're not benefiting from that. Again,
too, where critical race theory comes in with that is that they, like how you've taught me, when they come over here, they're given all of these opportunities and all these monies to start businesses.
Right, grants,
and to open
loans,
businesses. So,
right.
Explain to me, can you explain a little bit how you went in on how they start one year and then they get to open another one?
Right. If they're here on a visa, or if they're from, if they're not from the U.S., they're given these business loans and grants to start a business. And then after a year of being in business, they can put that business in a family member's name and then go back and get another grant and start another business.
But as an African American person here, they say, go to the SBA or go here and go there.
Right.
And then also we do have people in place who are working to help us. But it is overwhelmingly out of control and in proportion to what others are allowed to have and the opportunities.
Right. Right. And it's not going to change until we change it. You know what I mean? We're going to be doing a show on reparations. Y'all stay tuned for that.
Yes.
But, if you wait for it to rain to plant a garden, you'll never plant it. Right. So I'm not waiting for reparations. And I don't think anybody else should be waiting either, because we've been shown the cavalry is not coming.
Nope. It's not.
It's not coming. So
it's not.
We got to do what we got to do to take care of us. We got to unite and organize and feed the community.
And we have to stop doing the same thing and expecting the same results. That's where the problem lies. Year after year after year, we're doing the same thing. And I think it was mentioned in there how there's people talk about unity, but there is no unity. There's all these separate, different entities talking about the same thing, but not coming together. But I think we have a solution for that.
We do.
I think we have a solution for that.
But yeah, so I would say our people do unite, but we're not uniting to the point where we can affect change.
It's effective.
Right. So, yeah, we got to do better. And ask yourself, what are you doing to help our community? What are you doing to uplift our people and to bring our people together. Are you supporting African American businesses?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a part of the problem or the solution? So yeah, we gotta do better. But yeah, Cure Violence, they got the right. I feel like they have the right idea in mind.
I feel like the
right goal
gentleman
in
who's
mind.
spearheading it, is he Cure Violence?
Yes.
Okay, he's excellent.
Yeah, he's on the right track.
He is.
And everybody else, if you're watching this and you're a part of Cure Violence, we appreciate y'all and what you're doing in the community.
But can I get candid?
Well, this is the platform for it.
So when we got there yesterday, it was less of us.
Well, I wouldn't say less of us, but go ahead. Don't let me stop you. Go ahead.
So next time I will count.
Okay.
It was less of us.
Okay.
Than others. And they had a lot to say. And where are they at? And why aren't they here? So we know what they need. Okay. And then there was different ethnicities there, stating that their zip codes were not brought up.
Or represented. When
the man stated the facts that these zip codes have the highest numbers of violence, crime, poverty. So that's why it was focused on those areas.
Right.
Okay. So again, it's like, I think you say that it's important, like, even just in general, like, you can't be a pastor and not take care of your own house. You can't get in front of a pulpit and be like, I want God to save you and I want God to do this for you, and you're letting your house go down the drain.
Preach.
You didn't start there first.
Right.
So that's what I feel like certain ethnicities need to understand. It's not about leaving you out. It's not about not representing you. But the issues and the challenges that we have, they're so prevalent that we got to mind our business.
Right, and take care of us first.
We have to mind it first.
Right.
Before we can go out and try to mind somebody else's.
And that's huge. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. So you wouldn't go and try to clean somebody else's house up before you clean your own.
Don't even clean your own house.
Right. So in essence, that's what's happening with our people. So. And
we get attacked for it.
I'm not worried about that part,
but you understand, like, yeah. The gentleman that was up there yesterday, he's doing great things. He's on target, focused on what the challenge is, and he was attacked for it. I didn't see my zip code.
Right. But you're gonna have those people who feel like they're not being represented, or what about me attitude. But when you go to somebody else's event, or you go to somebody else's birthday party, and it's about that person, it's about them.
Yeah.
It's about them.
You don't get to be like, hey, I want you to sing happy birthday to me too, or where's my gifts, right? Yeah, that's how I feel about Christmas. Like, you say celebrating Jesus, but, everybody's getting gifts but Jesus. Nobody's sitting around that tree like, Jesus, this is for you.
Right.
Yes. And my other thing is that he asked us to think about our why we're getting involved.
Right, why we were there.
Why this matters to us. Okay? So that came from an African American man. Okay? But we had someone there to stand up and make it about herself.
Right.
I didn't hear a why in it. George said he heard a why. I didn't hear a why. I heard somebody making it about themselves, and I do this and I do that, and I need y'all to do your part, and I need you to make sure Candidly, I cannot stand it. And I was ready for her to have several seats.
Again, we got to do for ourselves first. And
we don't need someone else who has not walked in our shoes, who has not experienced what our ancestors or anyone has experienced, to try to tell us how to show up. Now, I can receive it from somebody that looks like me. But somebody else, when you're part of the problem, really, I need you to have several seats.
Right. And if everybody, when you're in a fight, you need allies. So we're all for allies. But when we're in a room talking about a strategy and what we need to do for our people, it needs to be just us in that room. Because when you allow other people to come in there, not only are they able to see the dysfunction or the infighting and then start to point the finger and say that's why they can't unite or that's why they in the situation they're in. We need to go in the room by ourselves, close the door, and discuss our issues and figure out a solution of how we're going to come together and uplift our people.
And make it happen.
And make it happen.
And make it happen.
Again, yeah, we want allies. Allies are good.
You can fund it. You can give donations.
Right. You can help. Yeah. But when it comes to sitting in this room, we need to be in this room by ourselves and figuring it out.
I really don't want to hear anything.
Right. So, you want to go into our why while we're there?
Go ahead. You can start first.
Okay. So, why was I there? I was there because I can see the bigger picture of what is at hand here, which is the government. I can see how the ending of slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, Civil Rights Movement, and how we got to where we are, which is not far.
Right.
Yeah, we've come a long way, but at the same time, we're still in a situation where we have to ask, or we're asking our oppressor to help us. You know, Taraji P. Henson was sitting on TV crying because she can't get paid her worth.
Right, in 2024.
So why would somebody pay you your worth who don't even look at you as an equal? You know what I mean?
Value your talents.
Right. So it's not a knock against Taraji, but I'm just trying to get Taraji to think about, you know, if you've been in the entertainment industry for so long, why not start your own? Tyler Perry gave the blueprint. Spike Lee gave the blueprint. You know, back in the days, what's the guy's name? Mario Van Peebles' dad. He gave the blueprint. You know, these guys had their own production companies, had their own studios, and doing for themselves and hiring our people. So again, we got to come together. We got to keep going to them. We got to stop going to them, asking them for help and a handout, and then complaining or crying when they won't help us.
And then instead of when asked the same question, like the other actress did, well, I'm good. I don't have no issues.
Right. And that's where we are now.
I mean, I understand that maybe in her industry, in her life, her dreams, her standards, that she's good. But what she did was throw everybody else that looked like her under the bus. I don't know. I don't care about them. I don't know what they have going on.
Right.
And my point with that is that you have people in this industry who have been here for years. Where are your workshops? Where is your education? Where are your seminars? So you can help these people who are coming in to come in strong and not start from the bottom and have to go through all of this foolery because they're new.
Right.
And so that's my point in that. Like, where is the collaboration so that we are all on one sheet of music? And just because you're new doesn't mean you get to be treated like this. Because you went to school, you did whatever you did, you paid your dues to be able to get paid just like the other person would get paid. It shouldn't be a discussion.
Exactly.
That I'm going to get paid less because of the color of my skin.
Right. So again, to tell y'all what my why is, like I said, I see what's happening here, the bigger picture. It frustrates me and it angers me, the condition of some of these neighborhoods, put in a situation and expect it to survive. So, and I don't like it. And it hasn't gotten better, and it's not going to get better until we change it ourselves, until we change the narrative for our own people.
Okay. Okay. And my why, and I'm going to try to keep it as concise and to the point as possible,
Okay.
is that I grew up in Florida. I grew up from a little person being exposed to racism, being exposed to the KKK in junior high school. 3 of them, big pointy hats, white all the way down. Their signs go back where you came from. I grew up with going in on the bus, being only the 2 black girls on the bus, riding into a white doll being painted brown with a noose on her neck. I grew up to trying to get on my bus with white boys and girls standing with their belt buckles saying, I'm going to get me a nigger today. All of that has impacted who I am today. I care so much about equality and about speaking up, even to sometimes to the detriment because of things. I will say this, while I grew up in that environment, what I experienced as far as education is nothing like what I experienced as a teacher, as an educator here in Columbus. I did my best. I transformed my classroom. I had high standards and expectations for my students. Most of us that look like me did. But they put people in leadership who expectations was low, who did not care. And when you set environments like that, when you're not setting the example, when you're not challenging students to come up out of whatever, they're used to, nothing's ever going to change. Patting them on the back for cursing or, for whatever, which is not the standard. Instead of holding them accountable and holding them accountable as if they would do in someone else's school.
Right.
So that's my why. I love our people. We are resilient. We have went through so much. We have overcome so much. I love our people and I want to see them be successful, and I want to contribute to that in the best way that I can. That's my why.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about some of the things that were listed here, like community participation. What it says here is, and this is the Columbus Empowered Network's mission and what they're about. So their mission is to create safe and prosperous communities through community engagement and involvement, ensuring decisions reflect the interests and concerns of our impacted communities. So one thing they put down was community participation. Community participation is based on the belief that those who are affected by a decision have a right to be involved in the decision-making process. Promote sustainable decisions by recognizing and communicating the needs and interests of all participants, including decision makers. Let's talk about the South Side statistics. So it says the zip code 31903 is the worst. And it says the poverty rate in 31903 is 35% compared to Columbus overall at 20%. So just think about that. Since 2017, in excess of 96 Columbus residents have been murdered over the preceding 10-year average, which is crazy. Let's talk about the income disparities, which we talk about all the time. The Columbus average median income, or AMI, is $43,000. The Georgia average median income, this is for the state of Georgia, is $62,000. That's the average median income for Georgia. The average median income for zip code 31903 is $24,000. Now, who can survive off that?
You can't.
You can't survive. So again, it's about survival. So anytime you have poverty, you're going to have a high crime rate because people are trying to eat. How can you tell somebody who's starving to be patient and it's going to get better? They're starving. They need to eat now. So that's what we have. That's why you have these high crime rates and these gangs and this violence. Like I said, the bigger picture is the government. So until we as a people unite, take our fight out of the United States, because the United States they're unwilling to fix the problem. So why would we go to them to fix it?
They're unwilling to acknowledge the fact that things are the way they are because of the history of this country.
Right. So there's no reason for us to go to the United States and ask them for help or ask them for relief or ask them to fix the problem, because it's out of their hands. They're not able to do it. Even if they tried, they couldn't do it. So we got to take this out to the United Nations. We got to take this to other countries and unite with other people who are going through the same thing. That's the way you fight it, in my opinion. We can't go to the government because they're unable to fix the problem. Period.
Unwilling, and you have people now saying, of course, it's a going conversation that they want to take Black history out of the curriculum, and that they didn't see slavery as a negative thing, as positive. It was better for us to be over here as slaves as opposed to Africa, where we came from.
Right.
So, it's a willful ignorance.
I agree. But yeah, so, y'all definitely leave comments, give us feedback on, what you think about the poverty rate, what you think about the median income in Georgia, in Columbus, and in that one area, 31903. Just think about that and then leave your comments on what you believe.
And may I
should
add
happen.
to, so when I interned at the Columbus Times,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful people who owned the Columbus Times, I believe, what's that road?
That's Buena Vista Road.
Buena Vista Road, okay. Mm-hmm. And I was interning. I was a grown person, so I went into the military, and then I went to college to have that experience here at Columbus State University. So I interned with her. She would have me out there picking up trash on the side of the road, making sure the outside was clean as well as the inside. That taught me a valuable lesson for when I opened my own studio and I PCS somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I cared about the entire situation, the outside and the inside. Now, it doesn't cost any money to pick up trash.
Right.
Or to keep your lawn, the front of your business, around your business, what have you, manicured.
Right.
We have to raise our standards. We have to raise, You're right, standards. Yeah, we have to do that. So, if we're going to have business, and it doesn't matter where it's at, we need to make sure that it's a reflection of who we are. Proud, resilient, great people of standard. So I just want to put that out there because that was one thing that she definitely taught me.
Yeah, it's definitely
to be out there, the whole thing. It's not, I walk in and it looks great. What about the outside? Right.
Right. So all around us in these communities, the message is being sent that you don't matter, that you're less than, just from, like you said, there's trash everywhere. There's liquor store on every corner. There's fast food on every corner. We don't have our own grocery store. People are not making sure or trying to or taking pride in the community. You know what I mean? So all of these things are being put into your subconscious that you're less than. And what they'll say quick, because I've been in the meetings, I've heard them say they gotta want to do it for themselves. We heard that yesterday. They have to fix it for themselves. We can't, because they're not gonna maintain it. It is painful to hear that, because that's what they believe about us. If they truly wanted to cure violence, they could. They could do it. But they don't want to. It's just lip service. If people really, if the Columbus Consolidated Government truly wanted to cure violence in Columbus, they could do it. If the United States government wanted to cure violence in America, just think about how many homes, if anybody knows about Skid Row in LA. It's bad. And think about the homeless problem in your own city. Thank you. How can you go to another country, give them money, give them food, but in your own house, people are starving and dying? And again, if they wanted to fix it, they would, and they could. They definitely would. They don't want to fix it. And I remember growing up in school, and they talking about people being poor and hungry in Africa. And so then when I visit California, I'm like, oh,
You got a whole big problem right here
in your own backyard.
States. And it's bad in California. But that's not in our books. That's not what we are being indoctrinated and taught. We are being taught to look down upon places like Africa, where we come from.
Exactly. That's the image they portray.
And that is intentional.
And that's called propaganda.
It is intentional.
So, again, if they wanted to cure violence, and this is no slight or shot at cure violence, they're doing great things in the community. I'm just saying, if the government truly wanted to cure violence, they would. But, you know, that's definitely not the case here.
And one more thing that I wanted to highlight that he mentioned, that how they built these trails.
Right, in Columbus, this biking and running trail all through Columbus.
And no grocery stores and no, you know, things of substance, but a place that has crime.
Right, you can't, you know, anybody that knows anything about the size of town where there's a high crime rate, after a certain time, you can't be over there. Period. Because again, if somebody's starving and you look like food, they're going to eat. So if you're on a walking trail after hours, good luck. You know, if you're using one of these recreational bathrooms at one of these parks or walking trails, good luck with that. So, you know, again, they truly don't want to cure violence.
Millions of dollars.
They truly don't want to.
That was spent, millions of dollars on what?
Exactly.
On what?
Exactly. So we said a mouthful.
Millions of dollars, right? And our babies couldn't even ride their bicycles to school.
Exactly.
They can't ride their bicycles to school. They would get in trouble. There was no place to put their bicycles. Now, growing up, kids rode bikes to school. They walked to school. It is unheard of to get in trouble for riding a bicycle to school, because it's a school. There should be somewhere to park it.
Right.
And even in California, where they still, like, bikes are a hot commodity, they still had the little bike racks where you could roll your bike in there, lock it up, come back out, and if it was still there, you know, go home.
Right.
What kind of message are we sending our babies if they're getting in trouble for riding a bike to school?
Right. So again, this is all being put into their subconscious and letting them know that you can't do what they do on the other side of town. You can't do it over here.
No.
So, yeah, until we change it ourselves, it's not going to change. So I will continuously encourage everybody to, you know, have this conversation in your homes, with your friends, at work, at church, wherever. Have this conversation about what's going on in your city and how the government is allowing these things to happen and encouraging these things to happen to keep our people down. This is not by accident. So,
and then let's do something about it.
Right, we have to change it. We have to change it.
Let's do something about it.
So, you know, for those that are doing your part, you know, we applaud you. Keep doing your part. For those who want to know how they can get involved, it's too easy. Like we said, it starts at your home first.
Yep.
But yeah, you can connect with us. You can connect with Cure Violence. They're looking, as a matter of fact, they're hiring. I think they said $15 an hour, $20 an hour.
Yeah, $15 and $20
an hour. Get in contact with Cure Violence. They are looking for people who can volunteer on some days, but they're also hiring in these positions to help out with Cure Violence. So,
and they're doing great things, because they're not hiring your average person. They're hiring people who can actually connect to the environments that we're trying to, you know, go in and support.
Right.
He gave a great story about how he was security guard, or he owned the business.
His friend owned the business.
Some gentlemen came in. They came in with weapons, you know, full circle though. When he was telling this story at another meeting, that young man who held the weapon to his head or back or whatever was in the audience. And he said, hey, that's me. Transformed, changed, doing great things in the community. Right. So said that to say that we can't give up on our babies.
I agree.
You know, because it's, you know, they're in temporary seasons trying to survive, and they are really trying to survive. When you hear a baby say, you know, I haven't seen my mom in a few days, but she left me with the EBT card.
Right.
That is painful.
Right.
It's some really serious, like it's education that needs to happen, and it's things of substance that needs to happen. Not, oh, let's build a trail. Not, let's have a Christmas and give away toys. You know, not let's have an Easter egg hunt and hide eggs. What is that fixing? Year after year after year, we're slapping Band-Aids on wounds that are not healing.
Right, and we're slapping Band-Aids on things that need surgery.
Oh, say that.
Right, so.
Say that.
Yeah. So,
and thinking we're doing good things.
We got a long way to go, but, you know, one day at a time, one family at a time, one community at a time, we're going to get there. Mm-hmm. But until we unite, and until we organize, and until we do something for ourselves, mm-hmm. lift ourselves out of this mess, because the cavalry is not coming. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're not coming. There's no legislation you can pass that's going to help us. There's no bill that you can pass that's going to help our people. Mm-hmm. They're just going to keep giving us lip service, and the proof is in the pudding. Mm-hmm. The proof is in the pudding. I don't care how many Obamas you put in the White House. This man cannot help our community. He's there in the White House. He has handlers who's handling him. So it may look like it's a good thing, and it's just my opinion. It may look like it's a good thing that one of us is in office in the White House, but these people who are in the White House have handlers. Mm-hmm. And their handlers have billions of dollars. Mm-hmm. So you're going to do what you're told while you're in there.
Correct.
Or you're going to end up like Kennedy. No disrespect to the Kennedy family, but that's an example of what's going to happen to you if you get out of line or if you go against these people.
Correct.
So,
and that's exactly what we're afraid of. We're afraid of losing our jobs. We're afraid of not being able to take care of our families. We're afraid of, the backlash that comes from speaking truth to power. Mm-hmm. We're afraid, and we get in office and we don't represent what's needed because we're outnumbered.
Right.
We're outnumbered. And something is communicated that, hey, if you don't toe the line, we have something for you.
Right. We have all the power. We have all the power. We're just not using it. And I said this in another video. If you haven't seen our other videos, go check them out. Mm-hmm. But the Montgomery bus boycott was successful.
Yes.
Because we understood the power that we had and we exercised that. That's why it was successful. We would still be sitting in the back of the bus today if it wasn't for people standing up and saying and coming together saying, no more of this.
Thank you.
It stops today. So that's what we got to do today. We got to say no more. Mm-hmm. Come together. Everybody needs to have that same mindset. Mm-hmm. And we can change everything. We can change it all because we have billions of dollars in spending power. Yes. But that spending power is going towards other communities.
Yeah.
Other people that don't look like us.
Making them rich every day, every year.
But then we want to turn around and cry and ask these people for help.
And then just like it's income tax season is coming up, and where are your dollars going? Do your kids have savings accounts? Do you have a savings account? Can you, for 6 months, if something happens, be able to live off of your savings? Like, there are so many things that we need to do. And I mean, like, we're in the negative. We're not even in the black. We're in the negative. So many things that we need to do to set ourselves up for success, but we are not disciplined. We're just not in that mindset. We're surviving. And it's time for us to thrive and to show up really like who we really are made to be.
Right. And we all can thrive. Not some of us.
Yes.
But until we come together, it's just going to be business as usual. So,
last thing, we finished up with the politics. There was a news article, and I'll share it here in under this podcast.
Okay.
With the gentleman, and he said he gives up, and I think he's a local pastor. I think he said, "I give up," and he says he gives up because all three candidates declared their candidacy for the District 10 Columbus City Council seat.
Right. So if you are familiar with the Echo Latina newspaper, go and check that article out. It says A View from a Pew. Mm-hmm. So if you're familiar with the Echo Latina, that story is in there for you to go check out. Mm-hmm. But we can go on and on. You know what I mean? We could go on and on, but this is you know, this is just frustrating and it's sad, and we until we realize that unless we unite, unless we come together, things are not going to change for us. It's like musical chairs. If there's one chair and there's 3 people left, only one person can get that chair.
That's it.
I don't care how you slice it, how you dice it, and that's where we are. If nobody's willing to concede, what does that say? Because this is for the greater good of the community. You know what I mean? There can only be one winner.
Right. And my concern with that is that each of these people have people who need their money. They need their money and their time. But you're asking for donations. You're asking for them to go out and canvas, which in the big realm of things,
right,
there can only be one person to win. And it's not likely that it will be who we want to win because votes are going to be separated.
Right. Resources are divided. Votes are divided. The community is divided, period, point blank. So, you know, what do we expect? What do we expect?
The same results, because
we got to change that. We got to change that. So we're going to, what is it? Is it Friday that we're going to the IMA meeting?
Yes, I'm excited to go. And listen and observe and, you know, see what we can learn.
Did we put that information out there when we did the community calendar?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we need to definitely get that out there so people.
It's the first Friday of every month. I sure will add that. The first Friday of every month, IMA. So this Friday is going to be the second, and then I'll put it in there. I think we put it in the first one.
Okay.
Because it's at someone's church.
But yeah, again, we encourage everybody to get in on these community activities, these community meetings, the city council meetings, and so forth. Because if you don't know what's happening, you know, it's hard to be able to see what's being done to you if you're not a part of the conversation. So,
and we need to be informed.
Definitely informed.
We definitely need to make intentional decisions,
intelligent decisions.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, we can't do that.
Right. So yeah. What else we got?
I think that's it. It's for the politics. What's the last situation? Okay. We were a little long-winded tonight, honey.
Yeah, but you know that was a lot to unpack, and we could, like I said, we could talk about this for days because it's such a difficult situation. It's such a what's the word I'm looking for? It's such a complex. It's something that needs to be talked about, and it's something that needs to be done right now. You know, this situation needs to be fixed.
And the thing
now.
is that we know with our track record that something can be done, fixed, and changed, because we're no longer on plantations working literally.
We're still on the plantation, believe me.
Work with me, literally. You know, there's been a change,
right?
And so we got to keep moving forward. We got to keep doing whatever our ancestors did. Imagine if they sat on those plantations and one person was like, "Well, I think we need to try to run away," and they was like, "Shh."
And that's what was happening in some cases.
And then they listened, and then no one ever decided to take a risk or to do something different. Where would we be today?
Right.
So that's what I would like for people to think about, is that, you know, it's not enough to just like be apathetic about what's going on in the community or feel overwhelmed and say, well, there's nothing we can do about it, because we can. We come from a people who have shown us and proved to us that we can make a change if we come together. Right. That boycott hurt their coins.
Exactly.
And that's why it was effective. Now, was it a sacrifice, and was it hard to walk miles and miles as opposed to riding the bus? Yes, it was. But those are the types of changes, those are the types of sacrifices we're going to have to make in order to leap and to thrive into a better way of things for our babies that's coming behind us.
Right.
Because one of my pet peeves too is that when there's people who are in front of us who allow people to treat them any kind of way, talk to them any kind of way. So then when the younger generation comes, it just gets worse and you're expected to toe the line and put up with that crap. But you know, some of these babies coming up today, they're not about that life.
Right. Right. So yeah.
Okay.
So what you think? A great conversation.
Think we were long-winded today?
Well, it was needed though. It was needed. So yeah, we went over a little bit longer than normal, but you know, this message is needed. This conversation is greatly, greatly needed in our community. So if we harp over the same things when it comes to equality, unity, organization, and for the betterment of our people, it's because we truly have a heart for that. And it truly affects us, just like it affects many of you who are out there listening to this. So,
and it is beyond lip service, like, you know, because we're not afraid to speak up. We're not afraid to get out and, you know, pull the sleeves up and get in and get things done. I've worked really hard to support people who I believe in, who I love, because I want to see them in those positions. I would rather them lead than I have to look up to somebody else. I really would.
Right.
So, and again, hopefully, I'm not sure when we're going to be able to unveil what we have planned to launch. But we do have a solution for one of the issues that we heard on yesterday.
Right.
And I'm excited about that.
Right.
Because we're very solution oriented. So, yeah, I'm excited.
And we'll keep y'all posted. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope that y'all enjoyed it. We hope that y'all continue the conversation. Please like, please share.
Please share. Please join the discussion. Join the discussion. And then let us know, what can we do to help you? And what suggestions you have.
Right.
And what action steps we need to take. Because we want to move past, we want to acknowledge what the challenges are.
Exactly.
And then we want to brainstorm some solutions. And then we want to move forward and make some things happen.
Together.
Ooh, honey.
Right.
Yes. All right. You said together.
Right.
Yes.
So we appreciate y'all. Peace and love. You have just been a part of Candid Conversation. Not popular.
But important.
We appreciate y'all. Peace and love until the next time. Y'all take care.
Bye. Have a good night. Have a good night. Have a good night.
Now, who tapped in with us?
I seen some ladies on there tonight.